So unlike other people, I'm actually going to give this game a good honest review with no bias at all. I've been playing it for about a week, I've given it a good go, I've done side quests, story quests and travelled to different planets. So let's discuss. So for those of you that somehow don't know about it, Starfield is an open world RPG game set in space. If you've played any of the Elder Scrolls games or Fallout, then you'll know what this game's about. This is a classic game that is basically Bethesda at its core. The only real difference is that you don't get a chance to just run around an area and explore like you would in something like Fallout, for example. You would essentially just run off in one direction and discover all sorts of crazy things. In Starfield, there's different planets, so there's different things to do, different places to go, and it's not in one just general area because you've got loads of different planets to pick from. Some of these planets will have like civilizations on them and other things hidden around the outskirts of the towns and cities, or the planet might be deserted and you just go around and find things, discover things, and create outposts. So what is Starfield like? So I've played this game for about a week so far, I've given it a good go, I've got a really good idea of how the game plays, what the gameplay is like, and I can say that I enjoy it so far. It is a really good game. The control scheme of the game is very good, it's very reactive, I don't see any issues with that at all. You have the ability to play in first and third person view, which is awesome, especially if you suffer from motion sickness. Third person view is ideal for you to be able to play this game. This also goes for when you're in your spaceship, you can go into third person view in order to do battles and fights or travel around. It has a fast travel mechanic, which means you actually don't have to get into your ship and sit down in order to travel. You can actually just go onto the map from anywhere on the planet and just fast travel. This means that essentially you're able to be in the middle of a mission, finish what you need to finish in it, and instead of then running back to your ship or finding it, you can just fast travel to the planet you need to go to sell the things you've looted. You can press one key to bring up the scanner, and the scanner for places that you've discovered so far on the planet you're in actually gives you the ability to face your cursor at a location that shows up on the scanner as an icon and just fast travel straight to it. What this means is if you get over capacity in a mission or you get close to capacity in a mission and you need to get rid of your loot and put it back on your ship, you've got the ability to just bring up your scanner, look at the icon and fast travel straight to your ship. Yeah, okay, so if there is not an icon for the location where you're actually traveling from, that means you have to run back yourself. But generally speaking, it speeds up the process of going onto planets and getting things, which makes it a lot more streamlined and faster to do. This means that essentially you don't have to keep running around consistently back and forth to your ship, which takes up quite a lot of time if you do that. The game's got the main story mode, and it's also got other missions you find, side missions and things like that. The side missions in this game can be just discovered by walking around. There'll be people talking about things that you'll overhear, and you'll just get a mission that you can then just take on if you want to. You can obviously speak to people in order to get side missions as well, or even sometimes find documents and files that have got a mission connected to it. This means that essentially you've always got something to do in the game. I can say that I started the story mode, I got caught up in side missions quite often, I've leveled myself up quite high essentially, but this is something that I do in all Bethesda games. I'll start playing the game, I'll get caught up in side missions. With Skyrim, I was one hit killing dragons before I actually finished the story because I got so caught up in side quests and the guild quests. So this for me is par for the course, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to do the exact same thing. This is just a Bethesda game at its core. The game has a good selection of weapons that you can use, different types of weapons depending on your playstyle. You have the ability to upgrade weapons and add attachments to them, as well as upgrade armor and attach things to that as well. There is a very large skill tree that allows you to specialize in certain things and just work through depending on your playstyle. You can focus on stealth and have a stealth meter actually added into the game by adding the stealth skill, or you can focus on upgrading things and traveling through space. The inventory system is very simplified. It's in categories, which makes it kind of easy to get through. Pretty much easier than games like Skyrim and the way they did it, where it's just a list of stuff. Instead of a list, you have categories where your armor and weapons and miscellaneous things are all in different categories, which makes it easier to sort through things and get rid of things out of your inventory. Of course, you have companions, but they play as standard Bethesda companions that get in your way all the time because they like to stand in doorways. So if you like companions, that's fair enough. Personally, I don't really like them too much. They get in my way too much and it's kind of annoying, but they can be used to carry extra equipment and loot, which can be useful if you can get past the fact that they stand in the doorway and don't move out your way all the time. Obviously, companions also react to things you do, so if you're with someone that's a very good sort of companion, you might find that going and attacking like ships in space, they might not like it, they might decide they hate you because of it, so that's one of the risks you do have. You do have the ability to crew your ship, so you can not only hire crew members from bars and places like that, you can also bring on people from the story to have them on your ship as crew members. The skills that your crew members have essentially add to how your ship runs and performs, so it would be beneficial to get a lot of crew members with like ship-based skills that would help you out during combat and battle and things like that. And then of course you've got one of the biggest features in the game, which is the shipbuilder. Now the shipbuilder, I've actually spent a good few hours on trying to sort my ship out and add things to it. There are different specs and statistics that go into shipbuilding, so you can't just add loads to your ship and make it huge. If you have a lot of mass, you have to add more engines in order to actually propel the ship, and potentially add more landing gear. So if you have 2 pieces of landing gear to land your ship, and you add a lot more rooms onto your ship and make it a lot larger and heavier with a lot more mass, what that will mean is you will not only have to add more engines in order to actually get your ship going and moving, but you'll also have to add more landing gear. So instead of 2 landing gear, you might have to have 4, 6, or even 8 to be able to land your ship, depending on how big it is. The shipbuilder is the best part of the game for me. You can add more cargo storage, you can add more weapons, more rooms to have more crew on your ship, and it is absolutely awesome. It can be a little bit fiddly at times when it comes to adding components and figuring out exactly where to put it on the ship. Occasionally it will do this weird thing where it doesn't want to go into the slot you want to put it on, but put it in one next to it, which can be kind of annoying. But overall, it gives you a lot of freedom with the way you create your ship, how big you want it to be, how much storage you want on it, and just generally give you a good kind of piece of control over the way that your ship is and the way it looks, as well as being able to change colors and things like that to make it look the way you want it to. Other than that, there are obviously some little bugs and glitches in the game that pop up occasionally. One of the big ones that I've been getting is that I'll be going around an area, I'll turn around and look at something and pick something up, and the game just freezes for a second, then just crashes out completely. This can be really irritating. However, if you're playing on PC, F5 is your best friend because that is the quick save button. Keep hitting that whenever you've killed enemies just to make sure you don't lose progress. I've not really experienced many other problems other than that, so it's just basically crashing out every now and again, which does happen. However, I don't have the best, most up-to-date PC in the world, so it may be something to do with that, though I am running the game at 1440p on medium settings, so it shouldn't be too hard for it to run without crashing. But I can say overall the game is a very fun, very interesting game. It gives you a lot of things to do. You're not going to run out of things to do anytime soon. And obviously if you want to progress through just the storyline, you're obviously going to get through the game very quickly. But this is a Bethesda game, so the idea of this game is essentially to just keep playing through side quests and things. Enjoy the world, enjoy the experience, enjoy the things that you can do in the game world, and experiment. Don't just go through the story and expect that to be it. That's not the way that these games are meant to be played, because it's a Bethesda game and they put a lot of work into the worlds and the side quests. So in order to properly experience this game, you really need to go around trying out different things, going to all of the different planets and just explore. I absolutely love the game though, but this is pretty much my review. It's very quick, very to the point. That just leaves me to say like, comment and subscribe. I've been greenlycan, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.